Hello and welcome to this video analysing Act 4 Scene 1. Everything that I talk about in this video is available in my ebook. The link is in the description. Now, Friar Lawrence is an interesting character to analyse in this play. Throughout the play, he's the trusted advisor of both Romeo and Juliet. He's seen as wise and intelligent, despite the fact that the advice he gives and the actions that he takes are often bizarre and unwise. Already in the play, he has secretly married Romeo to Juliet, even though he knows full well how Romeo has been madly in love before with Rosaline, and the friar even gives advice about not taking things too fast when he warns they stumble that run fast, but then quite why the friar ignores his own advice and marries Romeo to Juliet is hard to see. In this scene, the friar advises Juliet to undertake a thing like death by swallowing a potion that will make her appear dead. His plan is to take her seemingly dead body to the family tomb, where Romeo will meet her and the two elope. Now, this is a very strange plan. Why can't Romeo just run away to Mantua and be with Romeo? When she elopes, she will be forfeiting all claim to her father's riches, so why doesn't she just refuse to marry Paris and take the same punishment which was threatened by her father that he would disown her, and just go and live with Romeo? But the most significant aspect of the friar's character is how both Romeo and Juliet blindly follow him and do what he says. In this scene, Juliet tells him, "Bid me leap and I will do it." It's clear the friar has the unquestioning following of these youngsters, and as such can decide whatever he wants for them. When Juliet thinks of killing herself, she tells the friar he only needs to call my resolution wise and give it his blessing, and she will do it. So why do these characters have blind faith in Friar Lawrence, and Friar Lawrence who seems to give such unwise advice? Well, perhaps it's because he is a friar, a Catholic priest. Now, Shakespeare seems to be using the rash and bizarre actions of the friar to criticise those in society who blindly follow the leadership of the Catholic Church. Is he calling people to judge wisely the advice they are given rather than follow the advice of man? In Elizabethan England, there was a lot of tension between Catholics and Protestants, and Shakespeare here is criticising Catholicism. There's no hard evidence out there about Shakespeare's own religious beliefs, but there certainly seems to be a pattern in this play. Now, to explain Catholicism, or to give you the idea in a nutshell, the Catholicism believes that Catholics will approach a friar and will confess their sins to him, and he will then be an intermediary between the Catholic and God. And he will come up with the advice on what you need to do to get forgiveness. Now, in the non-Catholic branch of Christianity, the Protestant, as we call it, believes that people can just call out to God themselves. They don't need to have an intermediary, don't need to have a friar. They can speak to Jesus directly. So the criticism of Catholics is basically, why do you go to man for wisdom rather than to God? And in the play, we see a man, a friar, who everyone goes to for wisdom, who Romeo and Juliet go to for wisdom, and his advice is bizarre, unlawful, and unwise, and stupid, and ultimately leads to all sorts of problems. So the message that we get from Shakespeare is that the Catholic friar is a symbol, a metaphor of the Catholic faith, this idea that you should go to man for wisdom, when in reality, the Shakespeare seems to be suggesting the Protestant form of Christianity, where you go straight to God, is the only way to get true wise advice.